to Grind Infotainment. I am your host, Shug Diddy, quadruple OG of the city, and I got the amazing T-Staccz in the house. Give it up for VYBE.
Big vibes.
What's happening with you, boss lady?
Man, I can't call it. Thank you for having me.
Hey, it's my pleasure, my honor to have you on. You know, we've been trying to put this together for a couple of events.
Yeah,
so
we have.
Finally got it together, you know what I'm saying? I do apologize for all the delays.
Oh man, business, I get it.
So what you got going on?
Oh man, still the head and owner of By Shug Entertainment, the record label. Still pushing new artists coming through the door, you know what I mean? Setting them up to get in the door, network, you know, rub elbows, be in the right rooms with the right people that can, you know, take their careers further. Just dropped my new album, The Dowry, on all platforms, produced by exclusively by CJ Beatman.
Okay.
We recorded that with Chef Octavius and at Red Room. So that was a dope experience. Like my first real studio experience at Red Room was really dope. New videos, and as you know, here for these shows every time I get a chance.
Most definitely. Now, before we get too far along, tell everybody where to find you.
Oh man, T-Staccz, that's T$TACCZ on all platforms. If you want Insta, it's T_STACCZ. Look me up, big vibes.
Most definitely. Now, let people know that don't know already how long you've been in this game holding it down.
Ooh. I have been publicly performing and doing music for 3 years.
Okay.
I have been writing music, ghostwriting, and been in the entertainment industry, if you will, since grade school.
Okay.
Honestly, so yeah, entertainment industry, acting, modeling, things like that come from first nature. I'm a graduate of John Casablanca's modeling school.
Okay.
So entertainment has always been first nature for me. Yeah.
Most definitely. So let me ask you this. So with the ghostwriting, how did you really get into that? Like,
sitting around, you know, other artists who were, you know, in the middle of their processes, you know, creating their tracks, creating their magic, just hearing that one little thing that could be better. You know what I'm saying? You know, one word that you could switch out with something else that just might make it pop a little bit more, you know? It started there. Next thing you know, hooks. You know what I'm saying? You know, helping everybody come up with hooks, and then next thing you know, I actually fully ghostwrite 3 songs. So,
okay.
You know, that's our own platform. So it's a slow build, but it's something I've always enjoyed. And then finally, everybody's like, "So when you into your own music?" I'm like, "I don't know. I'm an artist and I'm sensitive about my shit." You know?
Okay.
And then finally, I came out here, and it's just been love.
Now, where are you from?
Originally, I am from Wilson, North Carolina.
Okay.
I stay in Kinston, so I rep the K to the fullest.
Okay.
Either way, it's big love in the 2-5.
Most definitely. I'm familiar with both towns. I got family out in Wilson, and I've had a little time out there in Kinston myself.
Yeah.
You know, so definitely good cities. Now, did you start performing here in Fayetteville or out in Kinston?
My very first show was in Kinston. First, crazy, not a lot of artists can say this, and I'm thankful to True Brasher of ATG for that opportunity, because my first show was a paid show.
Okay.
My very first show ever was a paid show at Mickey Ocean Hookah Lounge in Kinston, North Carolina. I was on the lineup with 3 other indie artists, and it was amazing. I'm not gonna lie. And my very next show is right here in 2-6 with Showtime's birthday party last year.
Most definitely. Shout out to Showtime.
Shout out to Showtime.
And, which blessings and prayers out there, Lady Rain.
Yeah, I'm gonna see by her tomorrow.
Yeah, I gotta get up with her too. Check on her. I talked with her last night, and she, you know, so she's holding up for the moment, so that's a good thing.
Yeah.
But like, so what like really attracted you to music? Because I know you said you started writing in grade school and everything.
I've always had an ear for music, honestly, since a young kid. Picking up on melodies, rhythms, and harmonies, you know what I'm saying, 2-3 years old. And it was just always something I found peace in, and my sense of happiness in. You know what I mean? It was something that nobody could take from me. It was nothing that nobody had to give to me. It was just something I found, you know what I mean, happiness in. So yeah, music is just home.
That's what's up. So now, as a CEO of a record label, like, what are some of the I don't want to say it. What are some of the struggles that you've had to go through?
Being taken seriously was probably the hardest thing to go through. Being an artist myself leaves room for the question of when you're gonna have time for other artists, when you start trying to push your career, which is a legitimate, you know what I'm saying, concern for an indie artist that's trying to, you know, start up. And the way I overcame that was just leading by example. You know what I mean? I can't sit here and promise y'all a dream. I can't sit here and tell you I can make you rich tomorrow if you sell 10,000 records. I'm not that person. But what I can tell you is if you write a good song, we do some vocal coaching, you learn how to breathe, you know what I'm saying? You learn where your punchlines and your ending words and cases really need to hit. You know, I do all of it. I do all of it. That was probably the hardest. And then being a woman and being young. You know what I mean? Being young, being a woman, and for the most part, having mostly men under me was, being taken seriously was probably the hardest part. But then when they realized I was not playing with them, and you know, my career was still going to keep going here regardless of how VYBE, you know what I mean, with VYBE, because I am the VYBE myself, I think they started to catch on.
Most definitely. You've been definitely putting in work.
Yes, sir.
You know, we had the pleasure of meeting last year and through BME, and I'm at BMP, my partner. And so, you know, I've been watching and I've been seeing, you know what I'm saying, your movement, and I want to let you know I'm proud of every step you've taken because you constantly elevated the whole way from the first day I seen you, and your energy has always been, you know what I'm saying, like radiant. So, you know, one thing I want to ask you is, like, for some of the people that are wanting to try to get into the game, whether it be as an artist or as a CEO, like, what is a suggestion that you will offer them to take into consideration?
Make a decision whether or not this is something you plan to pursue as a career or just something you like to do. Because there's a very big difference in the two. When you are pursuing a music career, it takes investment, it takes money, it takes time, it takes patience, it takes failures in order to succeed. You know what I'm saying? You're doing it as a hobby, you really don't care. I mean, you come out here every show, you know what I mean? You're gonna pay your $10 to get on stage, do your thing, and you're not gonna take it anywhere. You're not gonna pay $300 to get on the coast to coast, you know what I mean? And then pay to get all the way down to Miami. You're not going to invest and try to get yourself out there for jingles and different things other than just your music. So that's the biggest piece of advice I can give to anybody looking to get into this game. Make a clear decision on exactly what you're trying to do.
Word.
Yeah.
Definitely. Now you said that you're getting into, you're doing acting as well. So are there any like films or anything that you've been in?
No, not yet. I am honestly currently looking for all to-be writers, directors, film casters, all of that. Like I said, I am a graduate of John Casablanca's Modeling Talent Agency, so I've done numerous plays from grade school all the way up to adulthood. I've been in numerous plays, but yeah, I'm definitely ready to get on the TV screen.
Most definitely. So with the artist showcases, because I ask everybody this, like, do you think that at some point it becomes a waste of time, or that it could still be beneficial as you get further in your career?
Both. And I say that as the artist, and then I also say that as the manager who has to manage artists. Okay? The reason I say both is because there have been times where I, as an artist, sat back and was like, man, I'm tired of all these talent shows. That's what it feels like. You're in a room, not full of fans, full of other artists. You know what I'm saying? And it begins to just feel like we're showing up, putting money in these venues' pockets, and we're really not getting anything out of it. Till you look a year later and see how your followers went up, and see how those two people in that one feature just set you up to get to another city for another show and things of that nature. And from that moment, you have to realize that even if you come into a showcase where there's only 5 people in there and it's only the people performing, use it as rehearsal. You never know who one of those 5 people may be.
True.
You know what I mean? So I've definitely been on both sides of it, but I've grown to understand that nothing in this industry, as long as you're practicing your craft, is a waste of time.
True that. I'm definitely like that answer. You're the first one to say both, you know, with such confidence and everything. Usually I get one or the other. And I mean, most people, they agree that it's good for, like, if you want to test out a new song, just to practice, you know. One artist said, you know, how do you expect to get to the big leagues?
You can't even hang in the room.
Exactly. You know, so it's definitely, to me, it's a plus. You know, until, if you're trying to be signed to a major label, you know, like, it's always it's a way to showcase new artists, like for yourself being a CEO. You know what I'm saying? This is a way to get your artists out there. You know what I'm saying? And anybody else that's out there that's trying to be a CEO or whatnot. So, For the independent scene, now do you, as an artist, stepping away from the CEO side of it, do you prefer to stay independent throughout your career, or do you hope at some point to possibly sign to a major label?
I have battled with that question in my own head for more time than I would even like to really publicly admit. Because I see the benefits in being independent.
Mm-hmm.
You know, all your profits are yours.
Right.
You know what I mean? You don't own anybody. You put everything into your craft, so what you put in is what you get out. At the same time, we're not going to act like there's not benefits to being a part of a major label where everything's being taken care of. All you have to do is show up and do your job every day.
Right.
So it's one of those things where the deal and the offer has to be right. You know what I mean? I'm definitely not selling my soul. 100% artistic control is something I will always fight for. This is my music. You know what I mean? You're broadcasting, you know what I'm saying? It may be your network. This is my music. You saw something in my music that brought me onto this team, so I don't feel as though you should have the right to change it. So when it comes to major labels, I got my little tweaks and my mind little things back here that I would definitely be negotiating if that comes into play.
Most definitely.
Yeah.
Most definitely. So now with the way that the rap game has gone and hip hop itself, the direction that it's taken, like, how do you keep yourself from getting caught up in the temporary trend?
Quite simply, because I always aim to be different. I don't want to be like anybody else. And I say that, and when I say that, it goes all the way through my career. You know what I mean? You're not really gonna see me dress like anybody else in the room. You're probably not gonna see me interact like everybody else in the room. Probably the loudest one, most loud. You know what I mean? You see how I am when I come in the room. Tonight, I'm probably gonna be my most quiet because I ain't had no sleep. So since yesterday, Fayetteville has kept me up and partying for my birthday weekend very hard today. So yeah, I'll be training on Monday. So I ain't had no sleep. So I'm real quiet, trying to conserve all the energy I can for the stage. You know what I mean? But yeah, I don't try to be like anybody else. Even with the opportunities I had to sit down with major labels, I have the opportunity to sit down with Capitol, Interscope, or Motown. And everybody's like, well, you don't choose Capitol? I'm like, nah, Interscope, Motown? Yeah. Why Motown? What's Motown gonna do with hip hop? Exactly. Exactly. Name the last hottest hip hop artist that came out of Motown.
Right.
I don't want to be crowded with the likes of everybody else in my lane that, you know what I mean, it gets swept under the rug because I sound like somebody else. I want to stand out.
Most definitely.
You know what I mean?
Definitely. You know, best of luck on that. You know, we're rooting for you. And so definitely want to, you know what I'm saying, see you be the breakout artist. If you decide to go with Motown and everything works out, definitely want to see you, you know what I'm saying, change the narrative of the game with them and everything. Because you're right, like, I don't know any rappers that have been on Motown, you know, so
yeah,
that's
and a lot of my music, when I perform at showcases, I don't like to necessarily say it's just the spectrum of my music. Why? Because when I perform at showcases, it's crowd control. It's to get the crowd lit, get them interacting. But if you take a deeper dive into my music, you will hear the samples of the old school melodies, you know what I'm saying? The Motown hits, the Temptations, and the Aretha Franklins, and different things that I sample on, even in my own melodies that I come up with. That, I don't know, I think I might bring something to the game from Motown. I really, really do. I really do. My pitch is really strong, so I'm looking forward to it.
Definitely. Like, I mean, I can attest from, like, your performance and your music, like, it does stand out. You know, like, when T-Staccz is on the stage, T-Staccz is on the stage. There's no mistaking you for anybody else that's gone on before you or after you. You know, so I definitely salute you on that. So now, on a more serious note, like with real life taking place, you know, and condolences, you know what I'm saying, condolences to your father and everything. Like, how do you still, with something that hard of a hit, how do you stay motivated to still keep going?
This is my piece. This is where it all makes sense. You know what I mean? This is where I can get it out. This is where I can scream it out, holler it out, and make it all rhyme and look good at the end of the day. It might look pretty on stage and sound good, but this is really where I find peace. You know what I mean? Lady Rain is privy to this situation. A lot of other female artists, we used to do Ladies Night in Raleigh. And the night that we had this particular performance, literally we had to sign the medical power of attorney for my dad, and I became the legal guardian to my 15-year-old little brother behind the passing. And that night after my show, I was coming back to sign over the hospice paperwork, and I still had a show that night.
Wow.
So I still went to a show, performed my little heart out, drove all the way from Raleigh all the way back to Greenville, parked in the hospital parking lot, fell asleep, went upstairs, and then signed paperwork over for them to take my dad on life support. So when I say this is where I find my peace, this is where it all makes sense. You know what I mean? And to this day, I do look back over that one day, because he was saying, you got a show tonight? And I was like, yeah. He was like, all right, we'll do this till you get back. I don't know what you think about it. Go right out tonight. Do your thing. And it's like, even he knew, you know what I'm saying? This is where it made sense. This was home. This was peace. This was happiness. This is where real life happens, and I can be okay with it.
Most definitely did. Condolences to your dad. And you spoke on ladies' night. So, as we know, like in the hip hop game, you know, it's when we look at the female artists, for the most part, until like recently, it always seems like not all, but the ones that are popping have some sort of like subliminal beef and whatnot.
Yeah.
But how important do you feel it is for the ladies to support each other no matter where they're at?
It's imperative. I think it literally is what will make or break our success. Honestly, is the support. And it's funny because I've always joked about the fact that I'm going to be the face of the reason why the Carolinas band together. You know what I mean? Why do we have a North Carolina and South Carolina scene? Carolinas could band together as big as Atlanta. We actually joined together.
Right.
But imagine if all the ladies in North Carolina alone just joined together and created one of the biggest networks of artists, makeup artists, dancers, social media content makers, podcast hosts. You know what I'm saying? We all come together because now we're all networking and producing each other's, you know what I mean, networks and what's what I'm looking for, platforms to be able to expand our network with our network. You know what I mean? So supporting each other is something that should just be key to everything. Does it happen that way? No. Probably that subliminal beef or that snooty attitude that you speak of, I feel like one comes from the fact that we're always put into a competition with each other.
Right.
You know what I mean? You'll never really stand in a room with a guy, with a room full of guys, you know what I'm saying? They go, oh, I know this artist ain't gonna be better than this artist. But yeah, that artist, we all see it, they all nice. You know what I mean? Or that guy wasn't nice, but that guy was. It's just that simple. You see 3 female artists at that one show in that room full of guys, they're gonna compare how bad or how better each artist was to each other. We're always put in this spectrum of competition with each other, which then puts this false reality of I have to be better than, instead of just being the best me I can be.
Right.
So yeah, supporting each other, imperative.
Definitely, I agree with you on that, and I think that just artists on the independent scene need to get the competitive mind frame.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like out of the picture.
Yeah.
Because in a lot of cities, because like me, I'm from Georgia, so I know how the scene is there. You know, especially I be 44 in March, so I've watched the game for decades, and it's like for me, it's like everybody always sits here and says, "We gotta do like Atlanta," but then they're the first ones not to follow that statement. And I think that the Carolinas, like just watching the Carolinas since 2016, 17. You know, I think that's one of the biggest holdbacks, you know, specifically for Fayetteville, because this is where I'm at. So I'm seeing it more firsthand than the other cities. Like I've seen Charlotte somewhat come together. Folks in Raleigh, you know what I'm saying?
Raleigh's joining together so crazy right now. It's beautiful. I mean, it's beautiful. We have indie artists in Raleigh going into radio that are now putting on other indie artists. You know, like when I say the way the 919 has banded together, I mean, they ain't messing with the 2-6 because y'all really strong out here. They ain't messing with the second home. The 2-6 family can't be messed with. It really can't. I think that's why I'm addicted to coming over here because like the family and the support here is crazy. But the way the 919 has come together to even, you know, start their own reality show. You know what I mean? You know, Kings of Raleigh, Queens of Raleigh, you know, like it's just, it's amazing. And like you said, imagine if every city, imagine if Raleigh and Charlotte did that. And Raleigh, Charlotte, Greensboro, and Fayetteville. Wow, that's like, you know what I mean? I think it would be epic. We see a music industry that North Carolina deserves more than anything.
Yeah. Now, speaking of the home team, now, like, what's the music scene like in Wilson for the folks that might not be familiar?
Oh man, Wilson has very, very, very dope talent. Kinston has incredible talent. One thing about the 2-5, when you get us together, we'll stick together.
Okay.
We gonna talk our stuff and we gonna pop our shit online because content-wise and publicity-wise, it makes for good likes and content to make it seem like it's a competition because I think I'm the queen of the vibe. You say the 2-5. Yeah, it makes great content. But if you put us all in a room, you'll see the love. Okay. You really will. You'll see the love. And that's the entire area code, 252, Wilson, Kinston, Greenville, Rocky Mount, everybody.
Yeah, it's like one thing. From my time in Kinston, I used to be at the Cellar Club VIP all the time.
Okay.
And so, like, I would see the show. That was really where I first started seeing showcases in North Carolina.
Okay.
And so, like, I get what you're saying when you put everybody in the room because the showcase, the nights that the showcases would take place was like the main nights that no fighting took place. You know, so I definitely get what you're saying.
Yeah.
The unity out there. And, you know, salute to the 2-5, definitely, you know what I'm saying? Now, how do you encourage your artists to stay on their grind musically?
I do check-ins. We do have a team. We have A&R. We do have Bishop on our team, Eddie Stutter on our team, helping with artist development, you know, just helping with booking where he can and opportunities. Honestly, I gotta give it to my team. A lot of the artists that I have in these people are already established. Okay. Who trusted me enough to, you know what I'm saying, help me push this dream. So, if anything, they encourage me to make sure I'm staying on my grind. You know what I mean? Because like I said, I gotta lead by example. I can't be the head of the label when I ain't dropped no music in 6 months. But I'm telling them I need an album by the end of the year. You know what I mean? So, if anything, I really do try to lead by example. But these cats push motion so hard sometimes. I be like, oh, I didn't even know you did that video. Oh, I didn't know you did that song. Hey, when you drop that? Like, so I have to give it to them. Shout out to C4. Shout out to Baby Demon. He's in here tonight. Shout out to Flo. Shout out to BZ 3 times. Oh my God. Yeah. Shout out to BZ 3 times.
Yeah, I had the pleasure to interview him last event. And not just last night, but the one before. And, like, I heard some of his music when Cobb and Blow did the little review before the 1K giveaway. Yeah, that boy fired. Yeah. And the growth, like from a year ago, his confidence is growing. You know what I'm saying? When that confidence grows, it creates a monster in any artist. You know what I'm saying? When you get on that stage and you hold that mic, you can tell if somebody believe what they say. Yeah. You know what I mean? So watching him grow from just getting up there and I'm gonna pop my shit, I don't care if y'all like it, to nah, y'all get ready to hear what I'm gonna say. It's 3 times like, oh man, his growth is beautiful. It really is. Definitely, we're definitely gonna keep our eyes out for him as well. So now, with all of that said and everything, like, what is your main objective with VYBE? You know, like, where in the next 5 years, where do you want the team and the label to be? You know. I love that question because it's actually a question I've always had an answer to, and it's a question. It's an answer that I've always instilled in my artists to always remember. VYBE as entertainment is not to be the one and be all for everybody, for anybody for that matter. We are your startup indie label. We want the people who ain't got started yet. The person who ain't laid down the first song. The person who's scared to death to go to the showcase. That's what we want. We want the people who are just starting. We want to help them elevate and get to where we are now, and then Cobb Empire, KBE, start networking with other indie labels out here that can push you even further. You know what I'm saying? Next thing you know, maybe you'll be in front of Sony, maybe you'll be in front of Interscope, you know what I'm saying? But I do try my hardest to let them know when you reach that glass ceiling, baby, go fly.
You know what I'm saying? Because this is not supposed to be that place where you feel like you're being trapped and held back or anything. So in the next 5 years, I hope there's a whole new wave of VYBE that's coming in. You know what I mean? A whole new freshman class coming in. You know what I'm saying? Of new artists, you know what I mean? That's coming into the game hungry, ready to do.
Most definitely, I like that. I like that. Because, you know, as we know, it's a rough game. And, you know, we've seen some of the older labels in the past that are established, like Cash Money, No Limit. You know, they came in as a force to reckon with, and then it just kind of crumbled. And, like, they struggle to keep alive in this game. And you have a lot of disgruntled artists from there. So, with that, and, you know, with so many different personalities, like, what are some of the things that y'all do to help keep the morale boosted?
Shout out to Bishop Eddie. He does mental health. We have a group chat. He does mental health check-ins in the group, individually. We'll go and check on everybody. Crack jokes in the group chat. Sometimes if it gets too quiet, BZ will get in there and be like, "Hey, what y'all ain't making no music?" And that's what I'll get in there and random like, "So y'all say fuck rap, y'all get with my best day jobs." You know what I'm saying? Just to see if everybody's still here, still rocking. You know what I'm saying? And above anything, we still try to make sure we family. You know what I'm saying? I am not getting ready to make it seem like it's all rainbows and pretty sunshine. We have had our arguments, you know what I'm saying? We done had artists almost want to go at it toe to toe. Like you said, it's a lot of different personalities, and when it comes to this dream and you find people that are taking it seriously, yeah, it's gonna get like that. You know, I know about my piece and my piece on that stage, I'll be ready to fight. So, you know what I mean? So, we definitely do regular check-ins. Always support each other. You know what I mean? If we see something posted, we always share. Always posting, always sharing. And like I said, we're all typing that group chat, just make sure we are. You know what I'm saying? Outside of music, personally, we just try to make sure everybody's okay.
Word, definitely. I like that too. Because, I mean, it's just, I've seen a lot of independent, local labels just crumble.
I went through it. We grew as high as, 13, 14 artists last year. And I believe we are down to 6 or 7.
Okay.
What I love about it though, and I know it's a crazy phrase to use, it's a learning process.
Oh yeah.
The crumble comes with the process.
Right.
Surviving the crumble. That's the key. You know what I'm saying? Can you survive losing everybody around you and still push your dream? Right. And that is why I confidently say I love my artists to death, but I'm still gonna be a VYBE addict, whether they're here or not, because I believe in this dream that much. So that crumble hurt. I would not lie. You know what I mean? We built such a big, when I say big, strong, I mean, I'm taking cats all the way down to Atlanta to perform. I mean, a strong team in a year. The first year of the label being established, we grew. But at the same time, God has a funny way of using a flower sifter. You know what I'm saying? You're going to get out the lumps that ain't supposed to be in there. Not saying that they are not meant to be in this game. VYBE just may not have been the fit for them. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah.
I feel you on that. Well, look, I'm definitely honored, as I said, you know, to have you on. And it's been a long time coming.
Yeah.
And, you know, like, I'm always going to support what y'all got going on.
I appreciate it.
You know what I'm saying? Now, do you have any videos out right now?
Oh yeah. We have the I Ran Up video, which just dropped last year, I believe in November. What else we got? When They Asked video was still out. I have the Break video, which was shot by CJ the Beatman Savage and edited by myself, as well as the Gangsta Lean video. I edited that one as well. We have shot 2 more videos. I just gotta get over to editing them. You know what I mean? Coming back and forth, it's starting to take a little bit of a strain. So I'm strongly considering moving this way. So I might move on to 6 artists. So yeah, I've been definitely thinking about moving this way. Just for, you know what I mean, to keep doing that. But yeah, videos flying, and hopefully in about 3 more hours I'll be announcing the next one I'm about to shoot when I get off the stage.
Hey, that's well, we ain't gonna hold you up too much longer. Definitely, again, I appreciate you.
Oh man, thank you for having me, and thank you for always giving us a voice, man.
Hey, I mean, you know, that's what I gotta do, because like we all gotta come together. If it isn't for the artists, there wouldn't be the podcast, it wouldn't be the independent radio shows or internet radio shows for the independent artists. And you know, I'm always gonna try to do my part, you know what I'm saying, to give y'all's flowers and give y'all extra platform to, you know what I'm saying, blossom on.
Yeah.
You know, so that's why I'm doing this, and that's why y'all been seeing me at
every show. Every show. Like, they say your interview's free yet. I finally figured it out last night while I'm dominate back here. It was like, oh, okay, I know now.
Yeah. This is the cubby hole. So
yeah.
That's where I hide out at. But definitely appreciate you coming on. You performing tonight?
Yes,
right?
performing tonight. Okay. I'm ready to go in here and rock the crowd. Like I said, I'm not feeling my best because I have had no sleep. So I'm gonna get ready to sit down and preserve my energy so that way when I get up there, I can vibe the used to.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, hey, it's the Grind Infotainment. I am your host, Shug Diddy. I got T-Staccz from VYBE. Hey, make sure y'all check her out, follow her, support her. You know what I'm saying? She's got some good music out there. Make sure you follow her artists. You know what I'm saying? Like, they putting in that work. And so, if y'all are inspiring artists out there, you know, holler at her.
Don't holler at me.
You know what I'm saying? She might have a spot for you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like she said, it's a learning experience.
Mm-hmm.
So even if you end up not being a good fit, at least you can learn something. Just be appreciative of the opportunity, though. You know what I'm saying? Because people ain't got to rock with y'all. You know what I'm saying? So it's always a choice in it. So, you know what I'm saying? Just stand on your business, you know what I'm saying, and appreciate it. If it don't work out, hey, thank her. Keep it moving, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's too much hate out here. So, you know what I'm saying? Spread love and appreciation, you know, and definitely appreciate you.
Oh, man, thank you.
Know what I'm saying?
I appreciate it.
Hey, look, it's my honor and my pleasure. And so, that's the Grind Infotainment. We out. I appreciate it. Most definitely.
Oh, you right. It's been a long time coming.